Hey, my Legion, how you all doing today? John sent me something from Blade Disgusting. It's like a horror movie news outlet, I guess. I started hearing about Blade Disgusting whenever, well, they had like 8 movies to die for used to be released from Lionsgate or something like that, and they used to show like a whole bunch of them at the theater over the course of like a week or so. And I know my dad bought me a whole bunch of them, bad. They were like 750 a piece. And then I remember there was one that had you started hearing the name Blade Disgusting in the title and stuff. Including that one with the mask that Tiffany Shepis was in. The beautiful Tiffany Shepis. Anyways, they're talking about Chris Stuckman's movie Shelby Oaks. So Oaks or Oaks. Shelby Oaks was coming out to theaters. Um, and he had like a big GoFundMe campaign. It was probably the most successful one. And he says being released, Neon Pictures is releasing it, and it's being finally shown in the theaters on Halloween. And I read the comments. He's getting a lot of backlash. A lot of people don't like him anymore. And then someone said people that contributed to his GoFundMe campaign hadn't heard from him barely in like 3 years. That's why I was told. I don't know. That's why I heard in the comments. I don't know. I didn't contribute at all. And he started getting a bunch of flack. I mean, he said he was a filmmaker and he wanted to use this as a jumping board to make a movie. That's like his big thing, like a real movie. I think he made some short films or something like that in the past. And he started getting a lot of flack whenever Madam Web came out. Uh, Well, no, wait. Even before then, he said said he wanted to get in the movie industry. He no longer wanted to bash bad movies. He said it doesn't no good. He doesn't might do. He used to do hilariosity or something like that, where he would trash a movie like The Room or something like that. But he said he no longer wanted to hurt independent filmmakers or filmmakers trying to get by giving them a bad review, and he got a lot of flack for that, saying whatever happened to film criticism. I mean, his own channel, and he can do what he wants, but a lot of people gave him crap for that. And a lot of the comments on that Blade discussing thing were negative towards him. I know that whenever Raka Raka did that movie, Talk to Me, they filmed it themselves, and they had money that they raised themselves. They raised $5 million themselves from what they were doing, and they made the movie pretty much themselves. I was told, and they showed it at Sundance, and they got bought by A24 within, and then it got released I don't know 5 6 months later in the theaters. I guess Chris Stuckman has been a whole big thing with him, and and I guess Neon gave him additional money to help flesh out whatever he was doing. I don't know. And it's gonna be like a found footage from something like the Paranoids or something like that. Paranormal, paranoid. Someone said it was like some web series, and it's gonna be like a conclusion or something like that. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't. His movie's like a found footage film, and then he was given more money for like practical effects and gore effects. I mean, this is probably gonna be criticized really harshly because a film critic making a movie. I know Roger Ebert used to work with Russ Meyer all the time, and he wrote the screenplay for Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, famously for that movie. And I don't know if he was criticized for that or not, but I mean, he was in the whole exploitation game for a long time. And then he was criticizing movies for being exploitation, like I Spit on Your Grave, saying it's the worst movie of all time. However, he liked the Wes Craven movie, Last House on the Left. What's the real difference between the two things? And they said that was the one where the female's always the victim. However, she got revenge on those guys, just like those guys. The parents got revenge on the guys that killed their daughter in Last House Left, the Wes Craven version. I don't know what he thought of the remake. I have no idea. Did he pass away? I don't know if he passed away during that, and I don't know what he thought of the remake of Last House on. I mean, on Life Beyond the Grave was either. Um, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Uh, I still watch his reviews. Now what he does now is, if he likes the movie, he'll review it though. But you don't know how much he likes it. He doesn't do the grading system anymore. He used to go A through F. Uh, he doesn't use it anymore, so you don't know if he liked the movie. You don't know how much he liked it. It could be like he thought it was all right or something like that, and then like he really loved it though. He doesn't really tell you anymore what his true thoughts on it. And he said like he no longer criticizes bad movies. Because I think he feels like he wants to be a part of Hollywood now. And that's his channel. He's free to do it. But I still watch his reviews. He told me about a few movies I wouldn't have known about. I'm the main guy I usually go to is Jeremy Johns. I like him. He says the movie the way it is. I mean, I don't watch a lot of other movie reviews. Well, time to time I might. Usually I don't. I mean, I know the way I review movies. And a lot of times it goes all over the place because I think like why one thought and then goes another thought, it goes another thought, goes another thought. John and I both do that. But I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see how his movie is. I know it's going to be. It might be harshly reviewed. I don't think Jeremy Johns will do that because I don't think Jeremy Johns had any type of criticism towards Chris Stuckman for what he was doing. I don't think he mentioned him at all. A lot of other film critics did. You know, I don't think Jeremy Johns had a voice in that. I did a video about it because I thought I should talk about it. The biggest thing now is like if he likes the movie, you don't know how much he liked it. Where I mean, that's the biggest thing. Whether he thought it was really good or he thought it was awesome. You have really have no. I mean, he might like overemphasize a movie, and then you'll think it's awesome. I'm not really sure, but I mean, I'm curious to see the reactions of Shelby Oaks, the found footage movie, and the found footage format has really been done to death. With Blair Witch being like the main thing, and there's some other ones that did okay. Um, well, let's see. I don't know how it's going to go because Raka Raka, they didn't have a GoFundMe. They just funded all by themselves the $5 million because they had like some really intense effects in their videos. So I mean, they had some really intense videos. A lot of them YouTube wouldn't show anymore. And they had a whole big thing about YouTube, not showing the violence and stuff. And they had a whole big thing. I didn't know. I thought they just left YouTube and they just went to Patreon. And I mean, occasional videos every so often. And then they did a whole big thing about the movie. They're making a movie. I showed it to John. I said, and it's at Sundance. They premiered at Sundance Film Festival, looking for distribution. They got picked up by A24 to be released. And it was like in May or a couple of years back, right? And then to get picked up that July, and it was shown in theaters like 6, 7 months later. With A24 like shelling out money to help promote the movie, and it became a hit movie. It did really well for itself. And I think they're on the way to do another movie, but I can't remember what the heck it was. I think I saw it. I think I saw the trailer for it, John. Sometimes I watch the trailer and I kind of forget it because it was really great in Germany, right? Because there wasn't a lot of publicity for a lot of these movies. I mean, a handful of movies there were. So you see a movie completely cold, like Deadpool, the Clint Eastwood movie. I mean, I went. My friend said, "You want to see that?" Okay, didn't know anything about it. Didn't know what was coming out. Huge line out the door. We were like one of the very first people in the front, and watching it completely cold. I didn't know it was a dirty, hairy movie. I didn't know anything about it. Not the Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. That's way down the line. He said, my one friend said, "You want to see the Abyss?" Okay. I didn't know anything about it. Whole line out the door. Saw it completely cold. It was awesome. They Live. Had no idea what it was. I stood in line to watch. I mean, I used to go to a lot of movies. Sometimes I wouldn't even knew what they were based on how they live. Okay, I will watch it. Had no idea what it was. I want to make sure it's still recording. and that was cool too, seeing it completely cold. And then I was in line, and then I'm going up closer. Oh, that looks cool. I saw on the movie post John Carpenter and see Roddy Piper started. I'm like, hell yeah! That was a really fun experience for me. I mean, seeing it completely cold. Um, yeah, it was cool. I mean, I like doing that. So hopefully Chris Stuckman movie is gonna be good. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna. A lot of critics are gonna slam him and stuff like that. I think Jeremy Johns won't do that. I know. I think maybe he thinks it's beneath him or stuff like that. But I mean, if he thinks it sucks, he'll say it sucks. But I don't think he'll slam the film critic for it. So I hope you like this review. Not review, this thing about Chris Stuckman's movie Shelby Oaks is coming out in during Halloween. Let's see how it's received and see if it's any good. Because always, like, a movie made by a film critic is always going to be criticized by other film critics. And maybe it might not stand up to it. I don't know. I remember Fangoria released this one movie. It sucked. I can't remember what the hell it was. But you never know. So I hope you like this video. Bye. Till next time, please take care, my legion. Now, the one that YouTube with Racket did was really good, but they weren't film critics. And there was other ones. I think the Mighty Smoosh did a movie or whatever they were. It was okay. I heard like Shane Dawson, Sean Dawson did a movie that people said was awful. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. But Chris Stuckman's movie Shelby Oaks is coming out this Halloween. Let's see how it does. Until next time, bye. Please take care, my legion.